Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of City Skylines here with Yuto. And recently I just installed a realistic population mod, so now I have a whole bunch of commercial buildings just gone abandoned and disappeared, so now I have like pockets of emptiness in my city. I'm not sure if I'll like the mod in the future when I play it further on, but I'm not going to like change these zones anyways, because I'm just going to leave them here because there'll be commercial zones regardless, because this is where I want the commercial buildings to be, and I'll just expand outward in later episodes and put down more residential, and that should solve the problem. But I'm just going to leave these empty spots here. Maybe I'll change a little bit of them, maybe a few, but I think the majority of them I'll just leave them the same. Alright, so for the first thing I want to announce in this video is that the new name for this region or city you may know from the last episode, and that was Yutthoshima, so I'm going to change the name to Yutthoshima. And so the other four names that came out on top was Utopia, Eutropolis, Konpeki, and Yutthoshima. So I'm going to be using those names and also a whole bunch of other names that were suggested as district names, but for now I'm just going to use the top four names that were suggested, and I'm going to start with this little point here, and I'm going to name this as Konpeki. And this is actually my first time playing with districts, so I have no idea how, but I think this will be a good learning experience here. Actually, I might divide it from here. Maybe this might be something else. But for now, I'm just going to name this as Utopia or either Eutropolis, because I plan to use the top half right here as Utokyo. Now I'm going to do this little area. I'm not sure what to call this yet. I might just merge it with like this district, but I'm also gonna make this a district as well. If I could get the stuff going on here. Alright. Okay, now we see the districts. Probably gonna name this probably Utopia, maybe. And then maybe this one, or actually this should be Eutropolis. Eutropolis. And then this one will be Utopia. Maybe this is a nice little pocket area for, maybe high wealth, high rises and stuff like that. So I'm just going to name this Utopia. It's kind of like a wordplay right here, Utopia. And then, I'm not really sure what about that one, but I'm going to name this one Utokyo. Utokyo. There we go. That's another wordplay, I guess you could say. Utokyo. And then Yutthoshima, which I'm going to name this island, because if you didn't know, Shima in Japanese means island. And that was one of the suggestions by, I forgot who it was, but the inspiration was from Hiroshima. And literally in Japanese, Hiroshima means wide island. And I made a visit there, and it's not really, I don't know why they call it Hiroshima. It's not really an island unless you consider those little land masses separated by a river delta islands, but I'm not really sure on the exact definition of a island in that kind of matter. I'm going to name this something else, this top half over here, but I'm definitely going to name this interchange Gojira, which someone suggested, which means Godzilla in Japanese, Gojira. So let's change the name here to Yutthoshima. And Yutthoshima will be the basis of this episode, because I'm going to start developing this island right here with some kind of like high-rise high wall type of stuff going on here, and a whole bunch of other attractions, like maybe like a stadium, an aquarium, and various other type of things here. I'm not really going to put too many skyscrapers on here because I want this to be kind of like a leisurely place where the whole city can like go to. I mean, it's in the center, so I mean this will be kind of served as a central park, but it won't be like a giant park. It'll just be a bunch of stuff going on. I'm not going to make it too amusement-y, like too just touristy looking, where with like rides and stuff. I don't even know if this game even have rides, but I'm not going to involve that kind of stuff. Probably just a bunch of like statues and monuments and things like that. Firstly, I want to actually outline the island, which I believe that will be used most definitely. So that would first start by tracing the island where where the workable land space is, and then see if I will probably expand the land out even further from there. Okay. I'm definitely probably gonna make this squares type of. I'm gonna round this out. Okay. I think that might be a little bit problematic, destroying or minimizing the current through that little channel right here, so we'll see how that plays out. I mean, I don't think that'll affect too much of the water dynamics here, or hydrodynamics, but I'm going to extend this out a little bit, and then extend to about there. And I'm going to remove this rail line real quick. There we go. I do a lot of stuff offline when it comes to city skylines, and there will be a lot of stuff that I probably won't even show you, but let me just talk about what I just did in the last, or in between the episodes here. So I expanded the double-decker expressway to this side right here, because I was trying to fix a very massive traffic problem. It wasn't so massive where it would just like completely shut down the whole thing, but it wasn't just sometimes it would go in a standstill, and then it would just clear it by itself over a long period of time. And I figured that was because I had so many garbage trucks. I had way more garbage like landfills than I do right now. This is the new layout, which is not final. It's just I needed something that would support the city real quick. But prior to this, I had so many landfills and so many garbage trucks. I probably had enough garbage trucks to like make the Death Star or something with the metal they had. So it was just completely crazy. Like you would just everywhere in my city, I was getting gridlocks caused by garbage trucks. So that took quite a long time to solve because I had to empty out the landfills and things like that. And now the city's running way more smoothly. I mean, we don't even have. We see some reds here and there, but they're not like bumper to bumper traffic. It's just high volumes of traffic, but they would never come at a standstill. Maybe a little points here and there due to merging, but other than that, it doesn't really happen very much. So I'm very glad that I was able to solve that problem. So yeah, this double-decker expressway right here, it really helps filter out the traffic a lot going in different directions here. And over here I noticed from the comments that, you know, why not put some of these roads or even all of them underground, and I thought that putting them underground is a good idea, but in the elevation of what these ramps are right now, it would be kind of unrealistic to have them come up underground and just ramp immediately up. It'll be too steep for these roads to come up from underground here. And in the last episode, the previous one when I was making the canal here, if you remember that this canal was blocked by, like the water was blocked by something, and my speculation at that time was the pillars from the overpasses right here. But I found out like immediately after recording that episode, I decided to delete some of the boardwalks, and if you guys remember, there's like this piece of land underneath the boardwalk that couldn't get flattened when I went through the canal, and so I lifted that boardwalk, and then the land appeared. The land was invisible somehow and just blocked the water from flowing, so I had to reflatten that ground and place back the boardwalk here. And even then, the water was able to push out, but not like all the way back here. So I had to extend the canal all the way to this small little lake right here and added this water treatment plant, so I could keep the water flowing through this canal. But yeah, that solved that problem. And with these with these bridges going over the canal, I do like the overpasses, even though I do like the tunnel idea. But I managed to cut one bridge out of this thing, so that way it's not so cluttered, and that involved a lot of reworking on the rampways here and stuff like that, and a whole bunch of moving things around, like just minor things of tunnels and ramps just to make some space. And no pillars on this railroad track would look awkward, because if we had no pillar in this middle of the railway bridge, this truss would not physically and logically, visually make sense, because it would just collapse, since we have an arch truss right here. So I like to have the pillars there and stuff, and plus I like to have see traffic above ground, because I like to see cars just moving around. That's why I don't really like to do tunnels, only when I need to, and in some situations where it would be a little bit more realistic to do so. But yeah, I just love seeing cars driving by on the roads. I don't know how to describe it. It's just like watching an ant farm or something, just watching ants moving around and stuff. But yeah, so here's the expansion of the double-decker expressway. I just added a few more lanes here and there. But yeah, that's all I did pretty much. I still have to clear this out, but I'm going to say that for another episode. And we still have this not enough workers problem, and over here I've since this is going to be like the downtown, like the city center next to the Grand Central Station right here, I try to put all the offices next to that. But now back to Yutthoshima, so I'm going to finish tracing this island right here. So this is the basic shape of Yutthoshima that I'm going to be working with, and some areas I'll probably expand the land outward, but I'm definitely going to start working on this city in a time lapse, or not city, but on this island on a time lapse, because I really don't know what to do. I kind of have some things in mind, but they're not really solid. I just want to like mess around. I done a lot of experimentation offline as well, but I still don't really know what I want to do. But I think I have a general idea and start working from there. So I'm just going to do this in a time lapse, and hope you guys enjoy the final result here. I'm just going to work on this part of the island first, and then maybe in the next episode work on this tip right here. I believe that this little area right here and this little island as well is going to consume a whole bunch of time, since I am just going to be messing around. But yeah, let's get on going. welcome back. So that's it for now for Yutthoshima. In the next episode I'm going to continue on the lower half here. I'm probably going to do a lot of offline embellishment like landscaping and stuff, and then go over in the next episode. But firstly, while I was building Yutthoshima, somehow, I guess it's the realistic population mod, but somehow it just shot up my population to 73,000. Oh, I actually had 83,000, but then suddenly there was this huge death boom. Practically almost every building in my city has a skull and bones over it. Just someone dead in the house. I'm not sure what exactly happened, and with the huge population boom, I have a ton of traffic. That was originally on the avenues. I'm not sure where they are now, but it was a lot more worse than this, but I guess it just cleared out. But now it's just back up over here, and we got some traffic on the highways, but surprisingly it's not so bad. I mean, it gets red, but if you give it like maybe 10 seconds or 30 seconds, it'll just clear out. But there's just some jamming that, caused by merging problems. And over here we got some red zones here in the industry. But yeah, I'm not sure what happened. I guess just somehow the huge population boom just somehow, I mean, the realistic population mods, I don't know what happened. I don't even know. But to combat this situation with the death boom, I've removed the elementary school over here and a few buildings and dedicated this little area to some green space with the cemetery here. This is a V cemetery custom from the workshop, and here's the V crematorium here. But yeah, I like this one much better than the default cemetery. It looks a lot more better, and I like the black here and the glass roof. And I also added the same one over here, but this is just temporary. I'm probably going to develop this little area by the waterfront offline, doing some embellishment. First I gotta empty it out though. But yeah, I don't know how I'm going to solve this problem. But I'm going to keep the realistic population mod. I mean, it shot up my population pretty high, and I think it's pretty challenging to deal with the traffic problems. And I just temporarily put this double-decker expressway into service, but right now I'm going to put it into even more service, so we can relieve some pressure from the lower levels. Yeah, here with the top level, you can see. I think I need to change some mods or something. I'm not sure if this is a mod or the futuristic buildings, but they're just taking up all over my buildings here. I wish there was like a mod like the advanced vehicle options mod where you could control what building spawns and not. This one's actually pretty interesting. I guess it's a futuristic building, but it's actually pretty interesting. I like the glass, but of course there's someone dead on top or just inside the building. It's a nice view though. You get to see over the sunken expressway. But yeah, back over to Yutthoshima. So let me go over what I was trying to do. Over here I added 2 train stations. One will be servicing for the loop line that would go over the greater metropolitan area. And then we have one other line that actually connects to this railroad track through the double-decker bridge over here, and that line will go all the way to the airports. It will be a dedicated airport line, so that means I would have to add in another railroad line somewhere. I have to like squeeze it in here somehow to make way for that railroad line. So that would connect to over here, so that way the lines don't merge together. And over here, if you guys remember that I was going to build a university or some school facility on this island here, this is what I've placed down. I like this. It's a little bit plain, but I like the models. I like the style of the buildings, which I think is pretty cool for especially like this kind of island. I think it's a nice touch, and so I put this pretty much in the dead center of the the island here, and I think it really adds to the cityscape. And I think I'm gonna just delete these buildings, and I'm not sure if I'm gonna zone anything, because like I cannot control the building styles, and plus they're just irresponsible, I guess, always catching on fire. Other intentions that I had for this island here is that I really wanted to make, just attractions based. And if you already tell, I already made this this Gundam statue. I have 2 Gundam statues. Yeah. So over here in this little area, I've based this on the Fushimi Inari Shrine in Kyoto. If you've never been to Kyoto, I highly recommend visiting the Fushimi Inari Shrine. It practically looks like this, but probably like 10 times bigger. I mean, it's on a mountain, but the mountain's not that tall though, but it does provide some really awesome views, and it takes about maybe 30 minutes to an hour to climb to the top. But the whole trip through, you're walking through this Torii Gate pathway. But yeah, I'm not sure where the modder made this. I'm not even sure if this is based on a real shrine. This one seems to say Taiyo Jinja, which is like Great Ocean or Big or just Ocean Shrine. And I guess that fits with the theme here in this environment. And here we got the top shrine here. So cool. It's so awesome to walk or follow a sim first person view. It's really cool. So other intentions that I had for this city is, I really want to make this kind of like a leisurely attractions, high wealth, just whatever place with a bunch of parks and recreational zones here, like this one. I really like this mod, and it kind of blends in with this building. So I've used it back to back. Just the brick color is a little bit different though, but that's okay. And I really like this library, which is the National Library of Latvia. I love the glass and the shape of it. It really fits the waterfront look here, and I'm not sure what this is, but I just put the Ancient Stargate. I just put that there just to. I needed something that would fit in this little spot, and this was the only thing that would fit. And I mean, it looks good anyways. It just has some high crime rate, so I'm going to put a Koban down somewhere. I don't know where though. Maybe the Pokemon police station will get onto it. Oh, it doesn't even have enough water. Wow. Okay. Alright, so then the crime should be rated soon. There's so many attraction mods here, like this, and I just really want to put a whole bunch of stuff down and really develop this waterfront area. I mean, I kind of don't want to expand it out too far, so I want this river to still be big and wide, but I think this is the best I could do. I mean, like with the extension of the shoreline with these docks that I try to do here, I'm probably going to download some more mods of boats, like a sailboat or something, rather than just a yacht. But I really try to make this really a marina look with like these over here and over here. And I wish I could put the cruise ship dock though, but I can't because it's just somehow not connecting with the map channel or whatever. But yeah, as you can see here, I slanted over the ports, and I just now realized this failure of alignment here, but I think I'm just gonna deal with it. So I angled these, I guess you could say wharfs or just docks in general, in the direction of the current, so that way it would be a more realistic, so we don't have some just 90-degree angle dock that would just wear out the waterfront and probably build a sandbar or something with the current going downstream like this. So, and I made several docks. Really want to download some more mods though for like ships, maybe a cruise ship or something that's just parked or something. Probably going to put the cruise ships over here, and I want to build a stadium over here somewhere. Maybe 2 stadiums on this little strip here. And there's one thing I want to do that is not Yutthoshima related, and that is put the World Trade Center, one World Trade Center on Konpeki. I mean, it looks like New York anyways, so I mean, I just want to put it down. I'm not sure where exactly. Maybe, I'm not sure if I want it to be like right next to the highway or just put it one cell over. But I think I'm gonna just put it right next to the highway for now. And let's zoom out. Damn, that thing is so tall. But it looks really awesome. I mean, attractiveness 30. What is the scale for the attractiveness in this game? I mean, this is a really nice building. Props to the modder. Now it really does look like New York. Okay, so plans for next episode is that I'm going to be extending the top level of the double-decker expressway into this Yutthoshima island and put it underground and start connecting the train lines to this as well. And I'm probably going to do a lot of offline embellishment landscaping here and find some potential buildings so we can just jump into this area. I'm going to put some high rises over here and try to find if I could put space or put 2 stadiums in this little space. Probably going to end up expanding the shoreline anyways. But yeah, I hope you guys really enjoyed it. I'm not sure what I'm going to do about this death boom that's happening over there, but it's caused me a lot of lag because we have a bunch of bones, like skull and bones icons just flashing in my screen. But yeah, I'll see you guys next time.